Hello students, today we will discuss about the anatomy of trigeminal ganglia. Now what is ganglia? Now whenever you have this word, जब भी आप ये word सुनेंगे ganglia means the collection of neuronal body of the neuron. देखिए जब भी आप neurons देखते हैं, this is the body and this is the axon and these are the dendrites. So the area where these neurons head will collect together is known as ganglia. So ganglia is the aggregation of neuronal bodies, but they are present outside the central nervous system. Now where you will find the ganglia? So these are the few examples where you have the ganglia, like dorsal root ganglia. Now dorsal root ganglia are present in the spinal nerves. Now you know that there are two roots of the spinal nerve, dorsal root and ventral root. Now when you will see the dorsal root, which are sensory roots, you have the ganglia and that is known as dorsal root ganglia. In the same way, we are having the ganglia of cranial nerves, and these are trigeminal, facial, vestibulocochlear, glossopharyngeal and vagal cranial nerve. These cranial nerves are also having the ganglia. Apart from that, we have the ganglia which are associated with the sympathetic trunk, that is the part of autonomic nervous system, and those are known as sympathetic ganglia. ठीक है, तो बेसिकली बात यह है कि जब भी हम गैंग्लियाज के बारे में पढ़ रहे हैं, वी शुड हैव एन आइडिया कि गैंग्लियाज कहाँ कहाँ मिलने वाले हैं. एंड दीज गैंग्लियाज आर एक्चुअली द कलेक्शन ऑफ न्यूरॉन्स, एंड today we are dealing one of the ganglia of cranial nerve, that is the trigeminal nerve. Now the important thing is that the trigeminal nerve ganglia or trigeminal ganglia is homologous to dorsal nerve root ganglia. Now what is the meaning of this line? इस line का क्या meaning है? Now the meaning is that suppose this is your spinal cord. Now in this spinal cord, this is your dorsal and ventral roots. So this is the dorsal root where you have this dorsal ganglia. Now this dorsal ganglia is having the neuron. Now this neuron is having the peripheral process and the central process. Now central process is entering into the spinal cord, while peripheral process is taking the sensation from the periphery. In the same way, when you will have the trigeminal ganglia is having the neurons. The central process of these neurons will enter into the brain rather than spinal cord, and the peripheral process of this neuron is taking the sense from the periphery. Clear? So when you will see these two ganglia, either the ganglia of dorsal root or the trigeminal ganglia, they both are known as first order neuron. They both are acting as a first order neuron, and they both are having the peripheral process. Those are taking the sense from the periphery. They both are having the central process. The central process is entering inside the spinal cord in case of dorsal root, and into the brain in case of your trigeminal ganglia. So it is said that trigeminal ganglia homologous to dorsal root ganglia. Clear? Now where you will find what is the position of this trigeminal ganglia? The trigeminal ganglia present in the trigeminal impression, which is known as Meckel's cave. Now देखिए स्टूडेंट्स, यहाँ पे एक बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट सवाल है कि Meckel's वर्ड आप कहाँ कहाँ सुनते हैं. Now where you have this word in anatomy? In anatomy there are three things which are related with the Meckel. One is known as Meckel's cave. Now Meckel's cave, which we are learning today. Then you will have the Meckel's cartilage. Now this word Meckel's cartilage you heard when we are talking about the development of your head and neck. So when you will have the branchial arches, the branchial arch, first branchial arch cartilage is known as Meckel's cartilage. Then you have the third part is Meckel's diverticulum. Meckel's diverticulum. Now Meckel's diverticulum is the diverticulum which is a embryological remnant and it is present on anti-mesenteric border of intestine. Clear? So Meckel's term we use at three places. One is here in the cranial cavity, one is in the embryology when you have the development of branchial arches, and one is the diverticulum that is related with the intestine. So the first important thing here is that what is the Meckel's cave? Meckel's cave is a depression which is present in the middle cranial fossa and it accommodates the trigeminal ganglia. The second thing is that this cave situated at the anterior surface of petrous part of temporal bone. Petrous part of temporal bone in middle cranial fossa near the apex. Now in this diagram you can appreciate that this is the superior border of petrous part of temporal bone. Now this petrous part of superior border of temporal bone separates the posterior cranial fossa from the middle cranial fossa. So you have anterior, middle and posterior cranial fossa. Now what is the boundary between the middle and posterior cranial fossa? Here this is the superior border of petrous part of the temporal bone which is dividing the middle and posterior cranial fossa. Now this is known as apex. This part is known as apex of this petrous part of temporal bone. Now near the apex, when you will see the depression is present. Now that depression is known as trigeminal depression. Now this trigeminal depression is also known as Meckel's cave which accommodate trigeminal ganglia. Now this is your part of middle cranial fossa. Clear? Then what is the Meckel's cave? How the Meckel's cave form? So Meckel's cave is a CSF containing arachnoid pouch. ठीक है? Meckel's cave क्या है बच्चों? It is a pouch और ये pouch क्या करता है? इस pouch के अंदर CSF भरा है and this pouch is protrude from the posterior cranial fossa. ये pouch protrude होता है posterior cranial fossa से और it extend into the middle cranial fossa. ठीक है? देखिए bony depression जो है that bony depression is present in the middle cranial fossa. Bony depression that is known as cavum trigeminal is a feature of middle cranial fossa. Now that bony depression is having a dural sac or dural pouch. That pouch start to form from the posterior cranial fossa and this pouch is actually a lower layer or inferior layer of tentorium cerebelli. Clear? And it pouches forward beneath the superior petrosal sinus to form a recess. Clear? So in the class of your superior petrosal sinus, in the dural venous sinus, we have seen that the superior petrosal sinus attaches here along this margin of tentorium cerebelli. Now below that there is a pouching occurs and that pouching is going to form the dural sac and that sac contains your trigeminal ganglia. So this is the important thing which you have to understand. Second thing is that it is located near the apex of the petrous part of temporal bone and it extends forward like three-fingered gloves. It extends anteriorly like a three-finger gloves. That means that this is the three-finger glove. Now this is a closed glove. Now all the three part is having the three division of trigeminal nerve. Ophthalmic, maxillary, mandibular and the ganglia present here. This is the ganglia. These are the three divisions. But the important thing is that the sensory root and posterior half of the ganglia lies in the Meckel's cave and traverse the subarachnoid space, while the anterior half of the ganglia and three divisions are in front of the Meckel's cave. That means कि ये बात आपको यहाँ समझनी है कि ये जो हमारा ट्राइजेमिनल गैंग्लिया है, इस ट्राइजेमिनल गैंग्लिया के पीछे एक बहुत बड़ा कॉर्ड है. नाउ दिस कॉर्ड इज नोन एज सेंसरी रूट and anterior surface is giving the three branches ophthalmic, maxillary and mandibular. Clear? But this ganglia is divided into the two part. This posterior part is bathed into the CSF. This part is not into the CSF. This is the important thing which you have to understand. Second thing is that the anterior part is present in the subarachnoid space. The sensory root and the posterior part is present in the subarachnoid space, while the anterior half of the ganglia and the three divisions are present in front of the Meckel's cave, and it is not present in the subarachnoid space. So when you are having the Meckel's cave is actually in this area. जो हमने पेट्रस पार्ट ऑफ टेम्पोरल बोन पे ट्राइजेमिनल गैंग्लिया के लिए डिप्रेशन देखा, उस डिप्रेशन में आपको ये बेसिकली ये वाला पार्ट मिलता है, ठीक है. सो दिस इज द इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग व्हेन यू आर रीडिंग अबाउट द केवम ट्राइजेमिनल और द मैकल्स केव. नाउ इन दिस डायग्राम यू कैन सी दैट दिस इज योर posterior sensory root, this is the ganglia, and the ganglia is giving the three branches. Now this ganglia is divided into the two part. This part is present into the subarachnoid space and it is present into the CSF or bathed into the CSF. So what are the roots and branches? One is the central process, another is the peripheral process. Central process means the large sensory root which is attached to the pons. That means when you will see the brain stem, now from the brain stem till the ganglia you have the connection, and these are known as central process. Why central process? Because the fibers are entering into the central nervous system. Peripheral process are the three divisions of trigeminal nerve. So these are the collection of neurons here, and the process those are coming out here are forming the three division ophthalmic, maxillary and mandibular. The sensory root, this sensory root expand itself in a crescent shape, trigeminal ganglia. Now what next is that when you will see the trigeminal ganglia, it is made up of pseudo-unipolar neuron. Now what is the meaning of pseudo-unipolar? Pseudo-unipolar neurons are the neurons those are having T-shaped process. This is the structure of pseudo-unipolar. Now one process is the central process, another is known as peripheral process. Now this peripheral process will reach to the receptor. It will reach to the receptor, and from the receptor it will take the sensation. These sensations then enter into the central nervous system with the help of central process. Clear? So this is the picture of pseudo-unipolar neuron. And the exteroceptive neurons, exteroceptive means the fibers those are carrying the exteroception like pain, touch, temperature. Clear? So the exteroceptive neurons are pseudo-unipolar and their cell bodies are located in the trigeminal ganglia. What does it mean? कि देखिए बच्चों कि जो भी गैंग्लिया है, अभी मैंने बताया कि गैंग्लिया क्या होते हैं. गैंग्लियाज आर नथिंग बट दीज आर द कलेक्शन ऑफ न्यूरोनल हेड. सो ये हमारे पास गैंग्लिया है. इस गैंग्लिया का नाम क्या है? ट्राइजेमिनल गैंग्लिया. नाउ इनसाइड दिस ट्राइजेमिनल गैंग्लिया यू आर हैविंग सो मेनी numbers of pseudo-unipolar neuron. Now every neuron is having central process, peripheral process, central process, peripheral process, something like this. Now you have to understand this thing that ये जो peripheral process हैं, these peripheral process are actually the nerves of trigeminal ganglia. It can be the ophthalmic, maxillary or mandibular, and we are talking about the sensory part. Clear? So the sensations from the face, sensations from the head and neck area, those are entering into this trigeminal ganglia. They are passing to the central process to the brain. ठीक है? So यहाँ पे क्या लिखा हुआ है कि exteroceptive neurons. Exteroceptive neurons means the neurons which are carrying the touch, pain, temperature. Their cell bodies are present into the trigeminal ganglia, while the proprioceptive neurons, the neurons those are carrying the proprioception, not exteroception but proprioception, their cell bodies are located in mesencephalic nucleus. Now what is mesencephalic nucleus? This is not ganglia. Here we are using the word nucleus. Nucleus means again the collection of neuron. Again the collection of neuron, but it is inside the central nervous system. But it is inside the central nervous system. So when you will see your pons, when you will see the midbrain, when you will see the brain stem, inside the brain stem we will see that there is a nuclei present, and that nuclei is known as nuclei of trigeminal nerve. Now this is the nuclei of trigeminal nerve. Now this nuclei of trigeminal nerve is having upper part, center portion and lower part. Now this upper part is known as mesencephalic nucleus. This upper part is known as mesencephalic nucleus. Mesencephalon means midbrain. Now this mesencephalic nucleus is having the neuron. Now this neuron is having the peripheral process and central process. Now these peripheral process are taking the sense of proprioception, while the neurons, those are present in the trigeminal ganglia, are carrying the extrioception, and then they will relay into the another nuclei. यहाँ पे बात ये समझिए कि इन न्यूक्लियाइज के अंदर भी न्यूरॉन्स होते हैं और इन न्यूक्लियाई के अंदर भी न्यूरॉन्स होते हैं, ठीक है। ये जो न्यूरॉन है जो मेसेंसेफेलिक न्यूक्लियस में है, ये न्यूरॉन्स के फाइबर्स डायरेक्टली रिसेप्टर से सेंस लेके आ रहे हैं, ठीक है। लेकिन ये जो न्यूरॉन्स हैं जो दूसरे न्यूक्लियाई में हैं, जिनका नाम है चीफ सेंसरी न्यूक्लियाई, जिसका नाम है स्पाइनल न्यूक्लियस ऑफ ट्राइजेमिनल नर्व, इनके जो न्यूक्लियाई हैं, ये न्यूक्लियाई सेंस कहां से ला रहे हैं? इस न्यूरॉन से ला रहे हैं। यानी ये न्यूक्लियाई रिसेप्टर से पहले कहां गए? न्यूरॉन्स ट्राइजेमिनल गैंग्लिया में, ट्राइजेमिनल गैंग्लिया से फिर वो कहां गए? चीफ सेंसरी एंड स्पाइनल न्यूक्लियस। क्लियर? So when you will see the trigeminal nuclei is having two sets of the neuron. First order neurons, these are the first order neurons for proprioception, and these remaining are second order neuron. Those are receiving the first order neurons from this trigeminal ganglia. Clear? So you have to understand this part here, that whenever we are talking about the proprioception, these are the first order neuron, those are directly entering into the brain. So the mesencephalic nucleus is the only site in the central nervous system which contain the unipolar first order neuron. ठीक है, देखिए इसका कंसेप्ट क्या है? कंसेप्ट ये है कि दिस इज द रिसेप्टर. नाउ फ्रॉम एनी रिसेप्टर there are chemical changes will occur, and that will send the impulse to the nerve fiber. Now this nerve fiber is actually the part of a neuron. Then the neuron will enter into the central nervous system. Clear? Now this is the impulse which is entering into the CNS. Clear? Now if this is happening, then this part, this neuron is known as first order neuron. First order neuron. Now suppose we are having the neuron which are present in the central nervous system, and its peripheral fiber is directly in touch with this receptor. If this peripheral fiber is in direct touch with the receptor, then what will happen? That this part is bypassed. You don't have now the first order neuron. Now this is now called as first order neuron in this pathway. Clear? So you have to understand that in case of extrioceptive neurons or in pain touch temperature, the fibers are first order neuron which are present in the trigeminal ganglia, and then they will enter into the central nervous system where they will make a synapse with the fibers of second order neuron. But except for the proprioception, where the fibers are first order, because they are present in the mesencephalic nucleus, and this mesencephalic nucleus is the only example of first order neuron in the central nervous system. That means all the fibers which are entering into the central nervous system are one of the fiber from ganglia, but except the mesencephalic nucleus, these are the direct fibers, those are entering into the central nervous system. Now what next is that in this diagram you can see that this is your chief sensory nucleus of trigeminal nerve, this is the mesencephalic and this is the spinal nucleus of trigeminal nerve. Clear? So यहाँ पे इस पार्ट में जो न्यूरॉन्स होते हैं वो डायरेक्ट फाइबर्स लेते हैं, जबकि ये दोनों पार्ट जो न्यूरॉन्स होते हैं ये फाइबर किससे लेते हैं बच्चों? ट्राइजेमिनल गैंग्लिया के न्यूरॉन से। ये डायरेक्ट रिसेप्टर से आते हैं और ये फाइबर ट्राइजेमिनल गैंग्लिया से आते हैं। दैट्स व्हाई दे आर नोन एज सेकंड ऑर्डर न्यूरॉन एंड द mesencephalic आर नोन एज फर्स्ट ऑर्डर न्यूरॉन। देन the sensory root contains the peripheral process of cell bodies located into the trigeminal ganglia. ठीक है, so जो trigeminal ganglia है उसके अंदर जो cell bodies हैं, these are the sensory root contains the peripheral process. ठीक है, so whatever the peripheral process is there, their bodies, the bodies of these peripheral process are present into the trigeminal ganglia, and then they will give rise to the central process, and these central process will form the sensory root, and this sensory root ultimately enter into the pons where they will make a synapse with the another group, and those are known as second order neuron. Clear? Now there are some examples. Suppose I will ask you that where will you find the cell bodies of nasociliary nerve? Where will you find the cell bodies of nasociliary nerve? Your answer should be present in the trigeminal ganglia. Why? Because this is the trigeminal ganglia and this is your ophthalmic division. Now nasociliary is a branch of ophthalmic division. Suppose this is the branch of ophthalmic division. Now this is the neuron. Now this is the central process which is going into the brain. This is the peripheral process which is forming the ophthalmic division, and from the ophthalmic it will reach to the nasociliary, and it is taking the sense from some part of your face. Clear? So the sensations are entering from nasociliary to the ophthalmic, and then ultimately the neuron is here, then they will pass to the brain from the root, central root. So where you will find the neuronal head of the nasociliary nerve fibers? Again into the trigeminal ganglia. Where you will find the cell bodies for the branches of maxillary nerve? Again into the trigeminal ganglia. Where will you find the cell bodies for lingual nerve? Again into the trigeminal. So if any of the sensory nerve which is direct or indirect branch of trigeminal nerve, every nerve is having the part of this first order neuron into the trigeminal ganglia, except the fibers, those are responsible for proprioception. Clear? The fibers of the trigeminal nerve that reach the main sensory and spinal nucleus come from the cell bodies in trigeminal ganglia. ये बात मैंने अभी आपको समझाई कि हमारे पास तीन न्यूक्लियाई होते हैं। किसके हैं तीन न्यूक्लियाई? ट्राइजेमिनल नर्व के। When you will see the trigeminal nerve is having the three nuclei. This is known as mesencephalic, this is known as chief sensory, and this is known as spinal nucleus of trigeminal nerve. Now the important thing is that the neurons which are present into the mesencephalic group of nuclei, these are receiving the direct fibers, and these fibers are then going upside into the brain, and these are for proprioception. But for the main sensory or chief sensory and spinal nucleus, which is here, you are receiving the fibers in these neurons from the trigeminal ganglia. The fibers from trigeminal ganglia either entering into the chief sensory or into the into the spinal nucleus, and this is the neuron here, and these neurons are first order neuron, and these neurons are known as second order neuron, except the neurons of mesencephalic nucleus. So the direct fiber reaches to the mesencephalic nucleus are first order, while these are second order. Then you will have all the fibers from the single large sensory root attached to the ventral aspect of pons. So all these fibers will attach on the pons as a sensory root. Now in this diagram you can see that this is your trigeminal ganglia. This is its posterior sensory root. It is giving the three branches: ophthalmic, maxillary and mandibular. And suppose we are talking about the sense of area skin of this part below the eye. Now whatever the receptors are present, these receptors will give sensation to this infraorbital nerve. The sensation is going through this nerve. Ultimately it is reaching into this ganglia. Here you have the neuron of this nerve. Then the central process will enter into this and ultimately reaching to the midbrain, pons and medulla, that is in the brain stem. In the brain stem, this will relay and make a synapse with the neurons of the nuclei present in the brain stem. So in this case it is known as first order, and then you have the second order into the brain stem. Clear? Now what is the relation of greater petrosal nerve? Now this is a very important relation, that you know what is greater petrosal nerve. Greater petrosal nerve is a branch of geniculate ganglia. Now geniculate ganglia is a ganglia of 7th cranial nerve, that is the facial nerve. The greater petrosal nerve passes anteriorly and it travels through the hiatus for greater petrosal nerve on the anterior surface of petrous part of temporal bone. And the important thing is that when this hiatus is running into the floor of anterior middle cranial fossa, in middle cranial fossa this hiatus lies beneath the trigeminal ganglia. It lies beneath the trigeminal ganglia to reach the foramen lacerum. Now that you will see in this diagram. Now here you can see this is the geniculate ganglia of facial nerve. From that this greater petrosal nerve is arising. Now after taking origin, it is going anteriorly towards the foramen lacerum, because in the anterior wall of foramen lacerum you have the canal for this nerve to pterygoid canal, Vidian nerve. So what will happen, that here you can see this is your fossa. This fossa is known as trigeminal cave. Now in this diagram you can see that there is a nerve. Now this is the nerve. Now this nerve is known as greater petrosal nerve. Now where this nerve comes? Now if we'll clear this marking. Now here you can see that here you have hiatus for greater petrosal nerve. Now this is the hiatus for greater petrosal nerve. In this diagram you can first appreciate the yellow color line, and this yellow color line is your greater petrosal nerve. Now this greater petrosal nerve is going towards the foramen lacerum. Clear? And this is your area of trigeminal cave. Now in the area of trigeminal cave, when this nerve is passing, it lies below the ganglia. It lies below the ganglia. So what is the question here? That sometimes what will happen when you are doing stripping of the dura mater, this nerve is also damaged. Now in this diagram you can see that this is your trigeminal ganglia. Now this trigeminal ganglia is related with the greater petrosal nerve below. Now where you will find the hiatus is here. So this nerve will go deep to this ganglia, So the question is that an extradural approach of trigeminal ganglia across the floor of middle fossa by stripping of dura mater from the bone sometimes cause transition facial palsy. Why? क्वेश्चन क्या कह रहा है कि अगर आपने ट्राइजेमिनल गैंग्लिया को एक्स्ट्राड्यूरली अप्रोच किया, तो एक्स्ट्राड्यूरल मतलब ड्यूरा के बाहर, तो ड्यूरा के बाहर किया मतलब आपने ड्यूरा को हटा दिया बोन से. Now when you are stripping the dura from the bone to see the trigeminal ganglia, sometimes you are able to see that patient is having the facial nerve palsy, transient facial nerve palsy. ऐसा क्यों होता है? उसका explanation क्या है? That the thought is that I told you the relation which is important, कि when you are actually manipulating the dura matter, you are moving, you are giving the traction to the trigeminal ganglia, and below the trigeminal ganglia there is a greater petrosal nerve. So ultimately the traction is also passing to the greater petrosal nerve. Through the greater petrosal nerve, the traction will pass to the geniculate ganglia, and from there it ultimately causes the edema into the neural sheath and lead to the transient facial nerve palsy. So it thought to be taken that in stripping up of the dura mater from the floor of the middle cranial fossa, tension is exerted on the greater petrosal nerve which lies below the trigeminal ganglia. From greater petrosal nerve it will pass to the geniculate ganglia, and because of this there is a subsequent edema occurs, and this edema causes pressure on the motor fibers, and that will lead to your transient facial nerve palsy. So this is the question of your exam. Sometimes you have this question that if somebody is trying to do extradural approach to this trigeminal ganglia, why the person is having transient facial nerve palsy. Clear? Then in this diagram you can appreciate this is the posteriorly attached large sensory root which is going towards the brain stem. This is your ganglia. Now from the ganglia you have the ophthalmic, maxillary and mandibular division, and deep to that you will have nerve 2, that is greater petrosal nerve. Clear? So this is the important thing which you have to keep in mind. Then we'll talk about the blood supply of trigeminal ganglia. Now the major source of blood supply comes is accessory meningeal artery. Now this accessory meningeal artery is a branch of maxillary artery. First part particularly, it ascends and enters to the foramen ovale. Now when you see the foramen ovale, there are 4 components which we learned by MALE, male. Okay? So what are these 4 features? One is the mandibular nerve. This is the mandibular nerve. A for accessory meningeal artery, L for lesser petrosal nerve, and E for imagery vein. E for imagery vein. So when we are talking about the contents of foramen ovale, these are the 4 contents. So accessory meningeal artery enters through the foramen ovale and it supplies the floor of the middle cranial fossa and trigeminal cave. So it is a chief blood supply of your trigeminal ganglia. Apart from that, some ganglionic branch from internal carotid and some branch from middle meningeal artery. Then there are 2 more important clinical anatomy. One is known as trigeminal neuralgia, another is herpes zoster, or it is known as Singles. Now what is trigeminal neuralgia? Trigeminal neuralgia is excruciating pain, severe pain in the area of trigeminal nerve. The part of trigeminal sensory supply, the patient is having severe pain. The cause is not known. Someone says it is maybe because of the compression of aberrant artery or maybe some pathology. But what will happen, that it is characterized by there is a sudden pain and there is an extreme painful attack, and in response of these attacks that fellow will show the motor reactions or tic. Motor reaction or tic. That's why it is also known as tic douloureux. Clear? So you have to understand that trigeminal neuralgia is a unknowing cause. There is a severe pain or sudden pain in the area of trigeminal sensory supply, and in that respond patient is having tic or motor reaction. Now the treatment is surgical treatment, that we will find out the area particularly where you have this type of severe pain, and then we will cut it, that part of the trigeminal nerve which is carrying the sensory supply from that area. So this is known as trigeminal neuralgia. Second is herpes zoster. Now herpes zoster क्या है? herpes zoster क्यों होता है? The herpes zoster is a viral infection and it generally causes chickenpox. Now what will happen after the disease? The virus is remain dormant, but once it will after the recovery, if the virus will get reactivated, then the problem comes. So in herpes there is a primary infection that is causes chickenpox, and following the recovery the virus remains dormant within the dorsal root ganglia or in the trigeminal ganglia. Clear? So what is the two most common ganglia where this virus houses? Answer is dorsal root and trigeminal ganglia, and it mainly present in the neurons rather than supporting cells. Clear? So in the ganglia you have the two type of cell, neurons and supporting cells. So this virus, once the chickenpox is over, once the patient is okay, in case of the recovery phase, the virus is become dormant and it houses either into the dorsal root ganglia or into the trigeminal ganglia. In the ganglia, it mainly occupies the neurons rather than supporting cells. Now what will happen? The next is that if there is a reactivation of the virus occurs, if there is a reactivation of the virus is come out and it involve the dermatomes of the face supplied by the affected sensory nerve. Dermatome of the face supplied by affected sensory nerve, or it travel along the peripheral sensory nerve and it involve the oropharyngeal mucosa of the person. Okay? So whenever we are talking about the herpes of lips, herpes of oropharynx, oral cavity, it is always secondary. That fellow must have the first episode of the chickenpox in his or her childhood. That time after the recovery, that virus is remain dormant, and it can be remain dormant for 20-30 years. Once the reactivation occurs, that virus is now or going along with the pathway of this nerve. If it is in the dorsal root ganglia, then person will have the herpes along with the chest wall, intercostal spaces. But if the herpes is present in the trigeminal ganglia, then person is having the herpes infection along the area supplied by the branches of trigeminal nerve. Those are actually housing these viruses after the recovery from chickenpox. Clear? So at the end of this class of trigeminal ganglia, you are able to understand that what is the position of trigeminal ganglia, what do you mean by the central root, what do you mean by the peripheral part, and the most important thing is what is the first order neuron and second order neuron in case of the trigeminal nerve. And we have learned about the applied aspect of this ganglia. So this is all for today's class. Thank you.